Alright, Chris, I'll be sending you part 1. This is part 2. I start on the D major scale blocks. It's all the same in every key. You got to play each block so much that you get used to what the shape is, you know? So I'll start off where I left off and do the first 3 blocks quick. D major. And by the way, I mentioned in the other one, I wasn't sure if on the nut here, I put a new nut in this guitar. This guy brought this to me to have me fix it and make it a good player. And by the time I got done with it, I bought it off him. I gotta have this guitar. It's just killer. So, that's all straightened out from the last video. I started out, D major we're doing, so all these scale blocks. Now, if you do A major, this same shape is at A. If you do G, it's the same shape. Okay, that's your root note scale block in shape. For D, it's on the 10th fret on the low E. But I learned everywhere that's one scale is. As soon as I went everywhere there's a D right away and learned the scale were there too. That kind of thing. Everywhere there's a D. Kind of thing. So that's what I did. Then the second block up for D major is the E, starting with the E note. Now we would call it Dorian if we went just from the E note to the E note. But again, all 7 modes are in every block. So just because I'm here and I'm going to play the notes of D major doesn't mean I'm in E Dorian at all. I could play over here in the D block and play A Mixolydian. You know? Right. I could play B minor staying in that block. What did I do here? And that's the whole point about learning these blocks. And if you're playing to a certain, say you're playing just to a B minor chord or just a like a preferred in the past practicing to just one chord. And then if, you know, say I put I would practice to that one chord. Let me turn that side up. That channel's like on half the frickin' volume is the clean side. There's 2 different volumes on here. I'll just turn it up a little bit. Now it's about at the quarter volume, you know. So that's the whole thing about learning all the blocks. You know? And avoiding playing the B note, you know. You can go to the root note, but you know, we know that. So anything that I knew, well, yeah, I can go root note to root note. So I want to do everything that's not that, you know, so I would do that. And you have to have the scale blocks down to do that. So here we go, part 2. We started in the last video with the second shape of the D major block, the second block of D major. And And so we're going to do that same thing down here at the open position, and we'll get all the blocks from here. But if I soloed to that, I loosened the strings all. I didn't tune this back up after I fixed that. And that's a brand new string below E. I loosened these all down, all 6 actually, moved them out of the way to address that and got that all straightened up. So I never really got it back to place. Plus, I took a cloth with alcohol on it and went over all the tuning pegs. I never went back over the guitar. All right, so you got this block. All right, so that would be your. It's not just E Dorian, it would be your second scale block, and that's what you should call all of them, no matter what key you're talking about. It's the second scale position of D major. If you went E to E, it would be E Dorian. But what you want to do is get the shapes down and play them so much that, you know, and then the next one up I did in the last video starting with F sharp, and that if you went just F sharp to F sharp, it'd be called F sharp Phrygian. If you, then the next block up is G, starting with the G note. Be G Lydian if you just went G to G. Again, like I said before, you can play all 7 modes in any one of the blocks. I could play in that G Lydian block, but start with the A note and give it A Mixolydian flavor. So it's just about getting the blocks down. And what you should do, as you watch the videos and you get these down, play up and down one and go to the next one. Back and forth from one to the next and get them under your belt. Pay attention to what the shape is, listen to what they sound like. And then the next one up, this is what this lesson's for, is so that's 3 blocks. 4 we actually did the Do, Re, Mi. Then we did the Re. So you got, Re, Mi, Fa, Sol, La, Ti, Do, Re. And then we did the Mi, Fa, Sol, La, Ti, Do, Re, Mi. And then we did the Fa, Fa, Sol, La, Ti, Do, Re, Mi, Fa. And now we're going to do the Do, Re, Mi, Fa, Sol. We're starting, the A is your So in D. Sol, La, Ti, Do. Notice a D on the Do. Sol, La, Ti, Do, Re, Mi, Fa, Sol. So that's your Mixolydian sound if you go A to A. playing to them and I want the Mixolydian flavor, I almost never start at an A. I don't play that shape. I don't go to that block. Usually I'll go to the Lydian block and start with a G note, and I'll go. Going to a certain spot to play a certain, whether it's Mixolydian or Lydian or natural minor. I'm never going to any particular spot. B minor, I'm going over here. Nah, fuck. I might start on the G to play to a B minor group. You know? And I'll play to that B chord without playing without landing on a B note. You know, a lot. You know, if that chord was just playing, that's the best stuff to get your chops down. Is play to one chord groove. Or just. And avoid playing a B note. Yes, you're gonna, avoid focusing on going to it and from it, you know? And you can also go to it by all means, but if you already can do that and you already do that heavily, to grow, do something other than that, and that's what this is all about. So your A Mixolydian block, but again, it's just the shape of this block. So yeah. Whatever, you know. And a lot of times I'll go to a certain block. It's not to do, if I go to the G for G Lydian, or if I start at the F sharp, it's not to play F sharp Phrygian, it's just to go there because I want to execute a certain pattern of notes or create a phrase, and that's the best place for me to execute it. Go there because that's what I want to do. That's the only reason why I go places. So I don't think about, if I go to the B position playing a B minor chord, might not be there. I might be there to play the B, you know, but usually I'm looking to play other sounds using all the notes of B minor scale. And create tension for a long time, and then maybe eventually. Alright, so the next one up from that A Mixolydian is your B natural minor. Those are the other two blocks. B minor. And the last block before coming to the D major is the C sharp. It's all the same notes. All of what I just did in every block's all the same notes. You're just starting with the next note. Okay, and then you come to your D. But so say you wanted to just play to a D major chord. You want to be able to just flow and play what you want to hear. tablet other than the obvious. We already both can do the obvious. Well, let's find what's other than what we already can do. You know, all that kind of stuff to that one chord. And then that would be your B minor pentatonic everywhere on the fretboard. That's another thing, you know, get that down on the entire fretboard. You know, so the lowest point would be starting with the E. Then of course this one. And that kind of thing. You know, so that's also your D major. Alright, so that's part 2. I'll send that, the 2 of them, and I'll label the one part 1 and the other one part 2. Alright, later.